It's 7:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. There have been dramatic scenes at Islington early this morning. A suspected stolen four-wheel drive overturned at the corner of Chinchin and Hubbard Streets just before 3:30, forcing a taxi off the road, through a fence and into the front yard of a home. Paramedics treated the woman who lives there for shock. 5 youths who were in the four-wheel drive ran off. Greyhound Racing New South Wales is set to launch a fresh investigation into claims of a mass greyhound grave near Cessnock. The inquiry will look further into allegations of animal cruelty at the Keenbar trial track, but it's not clear if the probe will involve an excavation of the site. Greens Upper House MP John Kaye believes it's only the tip of the iceberg.
Given the allegations that were made during the Upper House inquiry into greyhound racing and stories that I've been told, although they didn't have evidence, there is now enough out there to believe that there are many more graves across New South Wales.
Arrests in the hunter for the possession and use of the drug ice have doubled over the past 3 years. Figures from the Bureau of Crime Statistics show there were more than 1,500 arrests since 2012. More than a third have been recorded in the Newcastle area. Prime Minister Tony Abbott announced plans this week for a task force to tackle the ice epidemic, which has been labelled the worst drug problem ever seen in Australia. As part of Sjogren's Syndrome Awareness Month, the Autoimmune Resource and Research Centre is hosting a self-management workshop next Wednesday at its Waratah headquarters. Sjogren's syndrome attacks the body's moisture-producing glands, which can affect the kidneys, blood vessels and the central nervous system. Autoimmune Resource and Research Executive Marlene Squants says the month brings awareness and support to those who are suffering from the syndrome.
Well, the Autoimmune Resource and Research Centre, we look after a number of different autoimmune illnesses, and so what we're doing is we've put together a workshop, which is a self-management strategy workshop, and it's for people that have Sjogren's syndrome, but also people that have lupus, scleroderma, Raynaud's, and other types of autoimmune illnesses.
Construction of Swansea's new boat ramp and floating pontoon is getting underway. The Thomas Humphreys Reserve boat ramp is one of the most frequently used on Lake Macquarie. Lake Macquarie Recreation and Land Planning Coordinator Greg Weir says the ramp will allow more people to use the facility.
Over time, that ramp has become very popular and can get very crowded. So by making a larger ramp and allowing it to go into deeper water, it will improve the launching of most small and medium-sized vessels.
And Lake Macquarie's recycling centre at Awabba has been declared a huge success, processing more than 160 tonnes of problem waste since it opened 12 months ago. The centre allows residents to drop off items such as paint, gas bottles, motor oil and batteries so they don't end up in landfill. Now with sport, Georgia Moylan.
The Newcastle Jets look to be in for a hard game when they face Melbourne Victory tonight at Amy Park. The squad could be light on experience for their clash against the top of the table, with senior midfielders Zenon Caravella and Ben Kanorowski out injured. Coach Phil Stubbins says they're preparing to bring all they have to the match.
We've got everything to prove, and that's to prove to ourselves that the intent that we've got in the group is to go and try our very best and try to win the game. You know, we're not going to go there fearful of who they've got.
The Newcastle Knights are hoping to bounce back from last week's 13-0 loss against the Dragons when they take on the Sharks tonight at Shark Park. The Red and Blue have a streak of 4 successive wins on Cronulla's home ground, but will be taking the field without key player Beau Scott due to an ankle injury. And in local soccer, the Charlestown Blues are set to face the Edgeworth Eagles tonight at Jack McLaughlin Oval. That's sport. I'm Georgia Moylan.
To NURFM News Time 26 to 8.